Just who is Robbie, the Ruthless One, Lawler? Now most of you will have heard of Robbie Lawler, the UFC and Strikeforce veteran, or you will have at least seen highlights from his last bout with Rory McDonald, but just how much else do you know about the fighter? Lawler was born in San Diego, California, and is of English and Filipino heritage. He moved across the US when he was 10 years old with his father, who was serving in the Marines, to Iowa. He began training in karate soon after he arrived. Later on in his youth, he attended Bettendorf High School, where he received all-state honours in wrestling and football. Once he turned 16, he was taken under the wing of Pat Miletich and began training at his school, Miletich Fighting Systems, as soon as he graduated from high school in 2000. This was no ordinary martial arts school. In fact, it had produced over 80 television and pay-per-view level athletes and 14 world champions in various organisations, 5 of which were in the UFC, including the legendary Matt Hughes and Miletich himself, who was the UFC's first ever lightweight champion. So it's safe to say that a young Robbie Lawler was amongst good company and in good hands. Not wanting to hang about, Lawler took his first fight little more than 2 weeks after his 19th birthday. 16 plus years later, and he's about to embark on his 40th fight. Over this 16 years, he's competed for 11 different promotions. Normally a fighter who's fought so much and for so many different promotions at some point would have graced Japanese shores, but Lawler has never fought outside of the United States. He's even managed to fight for Pride, but only when it came to the US. In 2012, Lawler joined American Top Team, commonly known as ATT, becoming the now high-profile gym's first UFC champion. The gym was given lots of credit for his dominance after re-signing with the UFC in 2013. However, in January 2017, several months after losing the title to the incumbent champ Tyron Woodley, he left the team. Could this have been because the gym, which also trained T Wood, considered Tyron as their new top guy now that he was the champ? Who knows? Lawler's been pretty tight-lipped on the subject, and some teammates have only mentioned that there was a misunderstanding with communication at the time. He has since been training at Combat Club with Henry Hooft. We will see what difference it makes over his next few fights. Across his career, he's been defeated a total of 11 times, but all of these have been pretty tough competition. The 11 men who bested him have 274 total wins between them, which is an average of 24.9 wins apiece, which I think softens the losses somewhat in my opinion, especially as after 10 of these losses he captured the welterweight title from a much more impressive Johnny Hendricks than we've been watching recently. And then he defended it against Carlos Condit and Rory McDonald in the aforementioned match of the year, Barnstormer, one of the most violent bouts to ever take place in the UFC octagon. Not a fan of jiu-jitsu? Well, remarkably, across Robbie's 28 professional victories, he only has 1 submission on his record. In comparison, he has won 20 fights by way of knockout or technical knockout. Don't blink in his next match. For a fighter known for his brutality, he's a rather slippery customer, boasting a 69% takedown defense while being successful in 76% of the takedowns that he attempts. Things that Rafael dos Anjos will be taking into consideration while he's been in camp training to take on the Ruthless One. And now, after defeating Donald Cowboy Cerrone and dedicating the win to Matt Hughes, who at the time was recovering from a car crash incident, Robbie is now taking on former lightweight champion Rafael dos Anjos in a match which I'm very excited for. Let me know who you guys think will take home the victory, and with it a shot at the 170-pound title. That is unless GSP decides it's time for him to skip a queue again. I've been Charlie of MMA Breakdown, and I'll see you guys next time.